Under the secrecy of night, Buckingham Palace became a hive of clandestine activity. At exactly 12:01 am, a dimly lit room bore witness to an emergency meeting held by King Charles, leaving even the most experienced royal aides visibly anxious. What animated this dramatic nocturnal council? The answer was equally stunning and confounded, a decision that seemed to tear at the moral fabric of tradition itself. Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. The summoning was immediate and urgent, like the rapid drumbeat of destiny's call. Royal aides hurried through the echoing halls, their footsteps a crescendo of mounting tension against the hallowed floors, resonating with an urgency that cut through the still night air of London. Words were spoken in hushed tones, curt nods exchanged. Each glance weighted with an unspoken awareness of the gravity that cloaked the evening. The very air in those grand, aged corridors crackled with an electric whisper of a storm about to break, the kind that strips silence bare. King Charles, the enigmatic figure who was both a symbol of continuity and change, stood at the center of this restless storm. Behind the regal facade, beneath the weight of crown and lineal duty, lay a mind wrestling with uncharted turmoil. His was the visage of a man carving through shadows for glimpses of light, contemplating a course that defied both history and expectation. Absent from this secretive assembly was Queen Camilla, a notable silence in her own right. Her absence spoke volumes, a specter haunting the conversations, adding layers to the mystery that draped the night like a velvet shroud. Meanwhile, the palace staff, attuned to the subtle shifts of highborn lives, buzzed with speculation as cacophonous as 1,000 bees vibrating within a hive. Whispers of tomorrow's headlines ebbed and flowed through the quarters akin to the lapping of an insistent, unseen tide. What revelation loomed? What decision could alter the course set by generations of sovereign decree? The air was charged with anticipation, each staff member feeling the undercurrent of a monumental moment looming on the horizon, palpable before it was known. A tempest in the making within those ancient walls. The night stretched onward, cloaked in secrecy yet heavy with a sense of impending consequence. The very atmosphere seemed to swell with the solemn heartbeats of the kingdom itself, a kingdom on the brink of something that would ripple beyond the boundaries of formal ceremony and into the veins of history. Each tick of the clock echoed the profound silence between the guarded walls of tradition, a silence pregnant with the gravity of what must come. As dawn approached with bated breath, the decision that bore the weight of centuries was unveiled, but what could have driven such a drastic measure? Behind the veneer of regal composure, King Charles carries a burden unseen by the public eye, one that could unravel the harmonious public facade of the monarchy. What secret influences guided him to strip his queen of her esteemed role? This internal struggle paints a portrait of a king torn between love, duty, and an unyielding sense of allegiance to royal destiny. As a young prince, Charles was groomed in an environment thick with tradition, every gesture and word modeled to fit an image of unwavering resolve. His boyhood was an exercise in discipline. Dinners were grand affairs where forks of familial purpose clinked against plates of expectation. Painstakingly, he learned the script of monarchy, a destiny ordained, yet rarely questioned. For Charles, love was to intertwine with duty, never separate, always concealed beneath the grandeur of his station. A shadow cast relentlessly by the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II, an unrelenting benchmark by which his merit was measured. Yet amid this toil for approval, whispers of love persisted. The defiant romance with Camilla carved a path less admired by tradition's architects. A relationship colored true, enduring within the gilded frame of royal disapproval, their devotion, laden with history, held a complexity no crown could confine. Her presence was an anchor, albeit one fraught with conflict. Through the lattice of palace walls, their bond was both sanctuary and battleground, a reality seldom comprehended by an audience distant and critical. When the decision to sever ties with his queen was made, it reverberated like thunder amidst an already tumultuous world stage. Global events cast daunting shadows and scrutiny followed his crown's every move. Discontent brewed outside palace gates, just as discord simmered within. It was a climate poised for drastic action. Yet who would dare question a king's judicious instinct? Spurred by advice not their own, trusted confidants whispered in opulent corridors, feeding into Charles's moral ledger. Counsel wrapped in velvet veils, each word a calculated weight upon his furrowed brow. These advisors, clad in the trust of duty, influenced his sovereignty in ways unseen. Their wisdom, a prism of options, exposed uncomfortable truths. Yet, beyond the public gaze, King Charles's reflections proved most revealing. Within the privacy of evening solitude, his writings bore testament to internal battles fierce as any public challenge. Lines penned in private spoke of dreams deferred and nightmares embraced. There lay cathartic admissions of guilt and glimpses of longing for a simpler time unclouded by the demands of state and heart. Each sleepless night passed under the crown's heavy embrasure, never entirely assured in its own righteousness, clashed with the quiet truth articulated upon parchment. The king wept ink onto paper, crafting prose that oscillated between duty's demands and the raw ache of personal sacrifice. Yet, behind every monumental decision lies an unfolding narrative, one that draws perilously close to the heart of the monarchy's cherished stability. Queen Camilla, often perceived as the quietly enduring presence beside King Charles, stands now at the center of a brewing storm. Her apparent grace under pressure belies a fiery resilience that has kept her afloat through countless trials. But what secrets lie behind those calm eyes? Her perspective unwraps new layers to this unfolding royal drama. Once a figure villainized in tabloid tales, she faced the fire of public opinion with a determination that simmered just beneath her composed exterior. This was no simple introduction into the world of royal life. It was a baptism by flames and scrutiny, where every smile and silence was analyzed, evaluated, and often misunderstood. In those early years, Camilla endured an onslaught of media portrayals that painted her with broad, harsh strokes, setting public opinion against her without remorse. It was in this barrage that she forged her steely resolve, an unyielding armor fashioned from the slings and arrows aimed at her very dignity. Behind palace walls, her moments of solace were sparse, yet it was within these confines that she found moments of profound revelation and connection. Late-night conversations with Charles revealed the depths of her emotional battle. Moments that exposed vulnerabilities yet built an unbreakable bond strengthened by whispered confidences and shared dreams of a time when acceptance might outshine the shadows of judgment. Camilla's resilience was not forged in solitude. Surrounded by a select circle of confidantes, her world was buttressed by those providing counsel as steady and unseen as the bedrock beneath her feet. Friends were both conspirators and comforters, a private network of support, offering their own strengths to fortify her during the loneliest hours. Yet, for Camilla, there was an interior battle underway, one that raged against the rigid, centuries-old structures of monarchy that seemed to demand more than could ever be given. She navigated these challenges with a grace that was as much about survival as it was about the quiet dismantling of expectations placed upon her. And so emerges the paradox: Camilla, queen consort, standing on the precipice of influence yet sensing the kingdom she was meant to co-rule slipping between fingers. In her quest to carve respect within the confines of tradition and duty, she sought to redefine her role amidst a backdrop of evolving expectations. In this complex tapestry, one truth was undeniable: her journey was far from over. Camilla's presence had evolved from whispered disapproval towards a broader, if muted, respect, as she silently championed resilience, a hallmark of personal triumph amidst public chaos. This binding strength would come to remember in the annals of royalty. But as one story swells with strength, another shadow rises, casting doubt and challenging the very roots of royal loyalty. The specter of Diana, Princess of Wales, hovers persistently over the British monarchy, shaping present realities with echoes of the past. Could her poignant legacy have influenced this abrupt decision? Layers of whispered rumors and relentless speculations offer another piece to this enigmatic puzzle. Her memory, formidable yet tender, casts a shadow across the House of Windsor, as if the sheer force of her presence refused to diminish with the passing years. She left an indelible mark, not just in the fabric of a nation's memory, but in the hearts of those within the regal walls whose lives she touched and transformed. Her legacy, a tapestry of charm and tragedy, moves like a phantom thread through corridors of power and privilege. Her spirited defiance against a tradition-bound establishment remembered all too vividly. Diana's time within the royal fold was turbulent, marked by splendor and despair, and her departure left cracks that seem ever reluctant to mend. These fissures reflect in today's undertakings, as the echoes of her struggle with custom and constraint seem to find parallels with current dramas enveloping the monarchy. Once whispered behind closed doors, the murmurings now voice themselves aloud, raising the uncanny possibility: is Camilla, now at the monarchy's heart, ensnared in a legacy not wholly her own? Her path has not been without scrutiny, an unyielding lens often comparing her place beside Charles with that specter in whose memory a nation remains rooted. Conflicting sentiments stir the past into the present, and Charles, wearing the burden of lost love, finds himself amid a maze of emotions and expectations. Poignantly, he grapples with the weight of choices long made, decisions cast like stones into the water, whose ripples never cease. Haunted as he is by memories, the quest for redemption looms. Beneath the swirl of pomp and circumstance lurks the very human desire to reconcile yesterday's regrets with the hopes of tomorrow. In the court of public sentiment, however, the resolve of the crown dances with shadows of uncertainty. The people, ever watchful, compose symphonies of unresolved emotions and loyalty. Diana's saga, a narrative passed down from one generation to the next, fuels conversations ripe with controversy and longing. Once more, those external forces, relentless and probing, reignite the embers. The media, with relentless energy, paints vibrant drama amidst personal tragedy, while public opinion refuses to settle into silence. Diana's story is retold, reimagined, and sometimes distorted, but ever present. Yet even as the past reaches out with icy fingers, the present uncovers a powerful audience whose choices now orchestrate the unfolding drama. Each heartbeat matches the royal cadence, shaping futures with the sway of a nation's gaze. The story continues, inscribed on both gilded scrolls and hearts alike. Within the labyrinthine walls of the palace, the royal aides play a pivotal yet profoundly invisible role, straddling treacherous lines of loyalty as they navigate between conflicting royal directives. Caught amid a clash of titanic wills, these behind-the-scenes warriors hold secrets capable of swaying royal fate. Every whispered sentence, every furtive glance exchanged in dim corridors, holds power capable of toppling crowns. The royal aides, living in the shadows cast by golden authority, become confidantes of the royal family's deepest secrets. They are pawns in the grand game of chess, played under the blurred line of daylight and dusk, their loyalty a flickering flame in the winds of courtly conflict. Within the heart of this hidden hierarchy, loyalties rip apart the air like a blade, slicing bonds of trust into merciless factions. Some aides are beguiled by the king's iron visage of authority, drawn to his clarity amid chaos. Others, however, find themselves ensorcelled by the queen's enigmatic poise and quieter strength, whispering of promises that rustle like silk in moonlight. These internal divisions weave a web so intricate that those entangled dread every move, fearful of a deeper snare awaiting in the shadows. Alliances form and collapse like castles of sand before the tide, each shift a ripple of heartbreak, betrayal, and cunning maneuver. In the midnight hush, when the night's cloak envelops the world in silence, aides gather in clandestine caucuses. Confidences are exchanged beneath the watchful eye of fading stars, sparking decisions that might define the dawn. Amidst the council's subdued murmur, a spark ignites an unnamed aide emboldened by the weight of crown and consequence. This figure finds courage to step forward into the whispered darkness, forging an unexpected alliance with the king as custodian of his unseen turmoil. The aide stands at a precipice of disclosure, holding the king's secret like a fragile glass orb, its shattering capable of draping shadows where sunlight once embraced the throne. Yet this proximity to power bears an onerous burden. The emotional toll exacted each dawn becomes an ever-tightening noose. Navigating such morality becomes its ordeal, the palace's extravagant luxury ironically a prison for those living without the liberty of titles. The toll weighs upon the mind, a constant wrestling of right and wrong against the backdrop of gilded halls. Even the noblest of hearts cracks under such ceaseless pressure, dreams broken by servitude's relentless tempo. Meanwhile, in corridors lined with polished mirrors reflecting endless secrets, whispers travel like spectral figures. Some speak of alliances not yet forged, others of betrayals planned in secret nooks and hushed confessions. Often these murmurs grow louder than any royal decree, rippling across the palace and turning trusted aides into figures of silent power. As such secrets unravel, a greater puzzle emerges. one that tugs at the threads keeping the monarchy intact. Loyalty, once steadfast as steel, becomes rusted and weak, threatening to pull apart even family ties ensconced within tradition's sacred sanctum. The present upheaval sheds light on a dimension often obscured by titles, while in unexpected quarters, the throne's allies may unveil motives hitherto unfathomable. An exclusive, shadowy circle forms the nerve center of royal decision-making, wielding power quietly, often imperceptibly. Who lurks within these hidden ranks, and what motivations do they harbor? Understanding the clandestine influencers offers yet another twist in the monarchy's tale of intrigue and control. In the hidden recesses of the palace, behind fortified stone walls and gilded corridors, a network is spinning its web, a cabal whose influence touches every thread of the royal tapestry. This ensemble of secret advisors, both mysterious and omnipotent, exists not within the light of public scrutiny, but thrives in the murky shadows, unseen and unheard by the world at large. Beneath the gilded surface of the monarchy's outward splendor lies the beating heart of its most guarded secret, a congregation where whispered alliances dictate the kingdom's destiny, cloaked under an impenetrable shroud of myth, rumor, and the occasional glimpse of reality. It is said that these figures, whose names rarely carve themselves in history, advise the king on decisions that ripple far beyond the castle's ancient walls. The narrative of their influence is a tapestry woven with both facts and fables, where ghost-like figures assert control and concoct a vision for the realm's future. This hidden counsel, a cryptic chorus, extends its reach deep into the roots of power, manipulating the fate of the royal family from obscured balconies and shadowed alcoves. Much like the legendary and clandestine forces that molded the destinies of empires past, this modern assembly carries echoes of bygone eras, leaving an indelible mark on the monarchy's legacy. Recent shifts in the royal family's affairs bear the telltale imprints of this covert congregation, as if every significant move or unexpected course correction bore the signature of its unseen hand. As secrets unravel and truth emerges from the mist, the question of influence looms large. How has this enigmatic circle woven its intentions into the very fabric of royal governance? Political tides and external pressures often provide the stage upon which their midnight judgments play out. Decisions crafted in the darkest hours, amid layers of secrecy, where the moonlight serves as their only witness. Yet another twist presents itself, a wild card among them, an unexpected confidant who threatens to turn the veiled chamber's innermost secrets outward, possibly exposing fractures within the sacred trust and challenging their own unquestioned loyalty. Who is this ambitious interloper, this hidden dynamo ready to unfurl their banner when the counselors least expect? As layers unfold with startling clarity, King Charles's saga hurtles towards an imminent juncture, unveiling truths capable of altering the royal tapestry irrevocably. The royal house stands naked under the blaring spotlight of global attention, with media narratives flaring opinions across continents. As publics clamor at palace gates for the truth, how much of what they perceive is orchestrated theater, and how much a genuine call for justice and clarity? In the murmuring echoes of the midnight revelation, the world wakes to the cacophony of a monarchy torn between its century-old traditions and the ravenous gaze of modern scrutiny. Sleepy townspeople rub their eyes. Newspapers clutch tighter as international broadcasts spill sensational tales of intrigue and whispers of scandal. An immediate media frenzy erupts, its shockwaves rolling from bustling metropolises to remote villages, stirring both disbelief and a hunger for more sordid details. Each article and broadcast appears to be a canvas painted with the boldest brushstrokes of opinion, uncertain, often conflicting, yet always demanding attention. Locally, citizens stand divided. To some, the royal family reigns as untouchable paragons of heritage, symbols of stability in turbulent times. To others, they're enigmatic figures masked by privilege, deserving scrutiny, if not outright skepticism. Globally, perceptions scatter like shrapnel. Some view the monarchy as a quaint relic, others as a beacon of cultural allure. It's a polarizing spectacle where reality feels like a distant echo drowned in the din of lively debate. Amid this chaos lies a truth. Much of the spectacle is spun by hands deft at weaving tales for the sake of skyrocketing ratings. Stories of innuendo slip seamlessly between editorial liberties, created not from a place of integrity, but from the thrilling potential of capturing an audience's fickle gaze. the line between genuine journalism and performative theater blurs expertly, asking whether the public is being informed or entertained. In a bid to tether truth back from the brink of sensationalism, exclusive interviews emerge. Insiders paint pictures shaded in nuanced grays, while seasoned royal commentators weigh in with gravitas, testing the biases that cling like cobwebs to every tendril of information. Audiences are swayed by eloquent narratives, hung on every eloquently delivered word that teases at authenticity. Yet, amid this dialogue, opinions sway, loyalties shift, and biases hold sway over facts more than ever before. For the monarchy, managing this media-fed tempest demands victories snatched from the jaws of public opinion, each choreographed maneuver dissected under the merciless lens of scrutiny. With each official statement issued, a calculated step dances through minefields of potential backlash. Yet some stumble a misjudged public appearance, a flippant remark transforming into a wildfire of judgment and disdain, echoing louder than clear truths. The long shadow of this uproar stretches into the future, casting its form over the destiny of the royal family. Public narrative, a volatile force, threatens to shape royal destiny as much as bloodlines and tradition ever could. The once rigid walls of monarchy appear to wobble slightly under public influence, wavering in response to the ever-growing demand for transparency and reform. As the storm continues to brew beyond palace walls, inwardly, the carefully guarded fortress faces pressures threatening to dismantle long-held traditions. Within the heart of the majesty they have known, an insidious fear unfolds, a creeping realization that the luxury of silence may no longer serve them, questioning whether adaptation is a duty or a betrayal. In a world where stories never cease unfolding, the royal house stands at a crossroads of legacy and evolution, nudged ever so insistently by the theater of public uproar. The monarchy, an institution signifying both immemorial grandeur and contemporary burdens, stands on precarious ground, facing questions deeper than titles or individuals. Can this time-honored establishment evolve anew, knitting together the ardors of ancestry with visions of modernity? This epoch hints at crossroads, a pivotal point in which the echoes of the past reverberate through the halls of future possibilities. The grand opulent fade of royalty cloaks an institution that must navigate the tumultuous tide of a world yearning for change. No longer can the monarchy rest solely on ceremonial glories or the hallowed traditions that have upheld its image. It must redefine itself, carve out a space that merges its historical significance with its relevance in the relentless march of society. The trials faced by the royal family have left an indelible mark, a call to introspection and renewal. The envelope of responsibilities, traditionally upheld, finds itself under the lens of scrutiny. Can the monarchy, amidst the tumult, transform these roles and duties to reflect a spirit aligned with contemporary exigencies? Royal duties no longer mean a life of spectacle. Their essence must now encompass meaningful engagement with the people they pledge to serve. It is a reimagining of the regal purpose, one that aligns these roles with the pulses of the nation, evolving into champions for causes deeply rooted in public welfare. Cultural education becomes the pivotal cog in this evolutionary machine, both a bastion of celebrated pride and an arena of critical commentary. As the royal family stands as symbols of continuity, their narratives become deeply intertwined with the cultural fabric they represent. Yet this connection attracts scrutiny that is as passionate as it is skeptical. In sharing the richness of their heritage, they walk a tightrope, balancing deep-rooted traditions with the ever-evolving ideals of a modern citizenry. They must transcend beyond mere symbols to become ambassadors of culture, inspired conduits who bridge the chasm between the lore of yore and the inevitable transformation of societal norms. Central to this discourse is Queen Camilla, whose journey has gracefully intertwined influence and restraint. Her tenure has unfolded in nuanced layers, carrying a legacy that demands reflection. In the waning chapters of her public duties, the essence of her contribution lingers, a testament to the resilience and heritage she carries forward. Her legacy, marked by a reduction of traditional roles, calls into focus the elasticity of these positions. Her story, embedded in shadows and sunlight, provides a poignant measure of how adaptation can coexist with tradition, shining a light on paths yet untaken. Standing at the helm is King Charles, whose reign bears the weight of expectation and transformation. His vision is a canvas upon which reforms slowly paint a picture of an institution striving to resonate with the nuances of the present. Bold steps towards environmental stewardship and an emphasis on intercultural dialogues set a tone, a whisper of the monarchy's ability to reform from within, while keeping fidelity to its essence. The arc of his journey suggests a monarchy not just clinging to its past, but engaging in a dynamic dialogue with its subjects, a commitment that echoes a broader inclusivity veiled in tradition's splendor. As we turn to envision the future of the House of Windsor, a tale unfolds of reconciliation and evolution. Its legacy bears the scars of colonial opulence and introspective reform, compelling a narrative that stitches together lessons of its storied past with an earnest commitment to heal and unify a kingdom once fractured by stark dichotomies. The future challenges the monarchy to engage with a new ethos, one that transcends regal duty into a sphere of active societal contribution. The royal family's challenge is to anchor its relevance with a renewed sense of purpose, all the while nurturing hope for a united front that echoes across generations and geographical divides. As the tapestries of yesterday entwine with the aspirations of tomorrow, the thread of continuity beckons the final chapter into a new horizon, leaving one question resonating powerfully: what next for the storied British monarchy? The irony of this tale arcs towards a gentle revelation, urging both the nation and its sovereign to embrace change not as a divergence from legacy, but as a celebration of what it can become. The pages yet to be written hold within them a promise of regeneration, where the scars of the past complement the hues of a hopeful future, weaving a narrative of renewal tempered by the wisdom of ages. In this symbiotic dance of history and aspiration, the journey continues, artfully edging towards a tomorrow that seeks not to erase, but to elevate the monarchy's eternal place in the world's heart. The echoes of whispers have subsided, and the shadows have receded, yielding to a dawning clarity. Yet, the question persists: is the monarchy poised for renewed triumph, or does the path forward spell inevitable tribulation? Royal fables meet contemporary realities in a final crescendo that defines a new era. As we unravel the days that spiraled into an overnight decision shrouded in secrecy and urgency, the aftermath ripples through the kingdom like the silent tremors of an earthquake. It was a move that shook the very foundations of Buckingham's golden chambers, a decision that seemed to echo with the voices of those who bore the crown before. Each choice, each whispered conversation in dimly lit corridors, adds fervor to the fables that have cemented this dynasty's narrative. The palace breathes once more, walls no longer whisper, for they scream of an era reborn, albeit under a clouded sky. Through the unmasking of clandestine tales, we see more than simple intrigue. We peel back the velvet curtains to reveal the raw, unscripted humanity of a family entrenched in royalty, yet burdened by its weight. The revelations, each a prism reflecting victory and vulnerability, tell of a legacy ensnared by expectation and rich with complicated narrative threads. These personal journeys, entwined within the palace's very essence, defy centuries of traditions, disarm in their honesty, and remind us of the impermanence lying at the heart of eternal power. In the ceaseless dance of obligation and legacy, challenge and opportunity hold each other in a tense embrace. Here, the heirs and the myths they must protect find themselves at the precipice of decision. It is a monumental play, painted not in the broad strokes of pomp and circumstance, but through delicate sketches of duty, fear, and hope sewn into the fabric of history. Oh, the paradox of rule, where the past is a trusted guide and an unrelenting ghost. What remains is a performance watched by eager eyes, where every misstep and triumph is magnified under the public gaze. Amidst the clamor of opinion and perspective, whispers from the kingdom's edges reach forth, a testament to a nation poised on the brink. From the highborn to the humble, spectators and eyewitnesses alike weave their stories, blending into the patchwork of a future unwritten. There's a shared uncertainty as they deliberate what lies on the horizon, an inevitable intertwining of fate and future, the thoughts whispered as prayers for the monarchy they hold in their hearts. In these musings, we find the pulse of a people who see their reflections in the regal mirrors of power. Binding it all together is the thread of a common humanity, a sentiment woven between viewer and sovereign, a shared bond in the face of uncertainty. The palace, with its banquet halls and balconies, is but a symbol of timelessness. a castle in the sky held aloft by human hope and fear. It is this eternal quest, dogged by crisis and crowned in dreams, that drives the narrative. In weaving these sagas, the monarchy treads the treacherous path of legacy, a pursuit beyond crowns and conflicts, binding epochs together in a tapestry of triumphs and trials. As our tale draws to a close, we leave with a somber yet hopeful reminder. Every moment writes another chapter, continuing the royal story in ways yet unknown.